Hello and welcome to another fun-filled edition of Adam's Music Box. So it was on this day in '83 that a song everyone knows and most people love hit number one for the first of many, many weeks. And this was, of course, Survivor's Eye of the Tiger. Everyone knows it. Rocky 3, of course, made it stratospheric, but I have a feeling it would have been a hit one way or another. But Survivor were definitely more than a one-hit wonder. They were, frankly, one of the, if not the best 80s AOR album-oriented rock bands of all time. Some people now refer to that genre as melodic rock. It's the kind of rock that it feels hard, but it's got this melody. It's got great song structure. It's played with both delicacy, finesse, and with a hardcore attitude. And Survivor is also unique in that it's one of the few bands that had two lead singers, both of whom were extremely successful. Who else fits into that category? AC/DC, Bon Scott and Brian Johnson, Genesis, Peter Gabriel and Phil Collins. And I mean, other bands have had different singers. There was, of course, the Doobie Brothers when Michael McDonald joined. And then there were bands like Journey, who sort of after their prime, if you will, got other singers in. And you could say, well, Black Sabbath in their prime changed singers. Well, frankly, the new singer, Dio, actually revitalized them. But Survivor were one of those bands because, of course, their first singer who sings on Eye of the Tiger was Dave Bickler. And then a few years later, Jimmy Jamison came in, and both of them are really good vocalists. And to this day, people debate which vocalist was better. I love them both. But the heart of Survivor was the keyboard player and main songwriter, Jim Peterick. Now, Jim Peterick is a legend among musicians, even though his name isn't so much of a household name among the public. He first burst on the scene with a band called Ides of March, and they had a very successful song in the early 70s called Vehicle. I'm your vehicle, baby. I'll take you anywhere you want to go. I'm your vehicle, baby. By that, I'm sure you know that I love you, need you. Great God, I've got to have you. Or some, I screwed up a bit, but you've probably heard it at some point. And a lot of people mistook it, including me at one point, for Blood, Sweat, and Tears, because it does kind of sound similar to them. And the vocal work does sound kind of sort of similar to David Clayton Thomas. But Petrick went on to work with so many bands. I mean, he wrote and co-wrote rather so many of the big hits of the Southern rock band 38 Special, Caught Up in You and Hold On Loosely. He's worked with Van Zandt, a sort of Leonard Skinner family offshoot, if you were, even Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys, Dennis DeYoung of Styx, REO Speedwagon. He's accomplished in the fields of jazz fusion, of rock, of singer-songwriting. He really is a great musical maverick, or baron, if you will. And he was the heart and soul of Survivor. But they, of course, had a great guitar player, Frankie Sullivan. And I really encourage you to watch, because it's all over YouTube, a video from round about '86 of them in Japan. And this was with Jimmy Jamison on vocals. And you really get to see a full live set of the band in their prime, playing some of their greatest hits. And I defy anyone, if you like your Journeys and your Foreigners and your Bostons and your REO Speedwagons, you will love the deeper tracks of Survivor that you might not have heard before. There is a lot more to this band than Eye of the Tiger. But that's not to say anything about Eye of the Tiger, because sure, it's a victim of being oversaturated because it's used in everything, in commercials, in parodies, because both the music and the fact that it's associated with the Rocky franchise of films. But it really is a good song, and it's still used to sort of pump people up, which is how Sly Stallone used it in the film. So happy birthday to Eye of the Tiger, and why not you out there in YouTube land take the opportunity to listen and to watch footage of concerts of Survivor. They were the absolute real deal. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Like, subscribe, and we will see you next time. Take care.